When you think of Diddy, you might picture a man dressed to the nines, cruising around in his fancy cars, or maybe sipping on a glass of his very own Ciroc vodka. He's the face of luxury, success, and power. But what if I told you that behind those polished smiles and multi-million-dollar deals, there's something much darker lurking? Diddy, once known as Puff Daddy, rose to fame as a brilliant music producer, businessman, and cultural icon. He's built an empire with hit albums, a fashion line, his own record label, and countless endorsement deals. His influence is felt in almost every corner of the entertainment industry. He's not just a rap mogul, he's a brand, one that has become synonymous with wealth, power, and control. But despite the public success, there's been a constant undercurrent of dark rumors and scandals surrounding him. For years, whispers about his abusive behavior, mistreatment of employees, and mistreatment of women have circulated. But it wasn't until Cassie Ventura, his ex-girlfriend, filed her bombshell lawsuit in 2023 that the world finally started paying attention. It all started with Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, who in 2023 dropped a bombshell. She accused him of sexual assault, trafficking, and physical abuse. This wasn't just some private breakup drama. This was a lawsuit that shook the music world to its core. Cassie's claims weren't the only ones. Over the years, there have been whispers, loud ones, about Diddy's dark side. And now, as the trial begins, it's clear that these aren't just rumors. People have come forward, accusing him of everything from coercing women into sex parties to abusing his power in ways that are too disturbing to ignore. What was once an empire built on music and style has now become a house of secrets. And let's be real, some of those secrets are too shocking for the average fan to even imagine. But that's not all. The accusations are not only about Cassie. There's a long list of women, from former dancers to other ex-girlfriends, who have alleged similar treatment at the hands of the music mogul. Some even claim that Diddy used his influence to force them into drug-fueled sex parties where they were either exploited or coerced. You'd think that an empire built on music and fashion would have a solid foundation of professionalism, right? Well, that's not the picture that's being painted. As the world digs deeper into Diddy's past, even more disturbing allegations have come to light. Rodney Lil Rod Jones, a former producer for Diddy, was one of the first to openly accuse Diddy of sexual assault and trafficking. His story is chilling. He claims that Diddy used his position in the industry to exploit vulnerable women and even force them into sexual situations that they did not consent to. The allegations came out as part of a federal investigation, and Jones's testimony became one of the central pieces of evidence in the ongoing investigation. Dawn Richard, a former member of the band Danity Kane, didn't stay silent either. Dawn has accused Diddy of emotional and physical abuse. She's gone on record about how Diddy manipulated her, making her feel like she wasn't good enough to be a part of the group. She described being forced to work long hours with little to no sleep and being subjected to verbal and physical assaults. And it's not just the women who've suffered under Diddy's influence. Former Bad Boy Records executives like Harve Pierre have been dragged into the conversation. Pierre, who was once a trusted ally of Diddy, has been accused of sexual assault by multiple women, one of whom claims that Diddy and Pierre assaulted her after she was drugged. The accusations have sparked even more outrage as people begin to connect the dots between Diddy's behavior and the toxic work environment at his label. Now, with all these allegations out in the open, the question everyone's asking is, who's supporting Diddy and who's calling him out? On one hand, you've got people like 50 Cent, who has been very vocal about his dislike for Diddy. He doesn't mince words. After the allegations came to light, 50 Cent didn't hold back. He called Diddy a sicko and said he'd been waiting for something like this to come out. Now, 50 Cent is no stranger to controversy, but when he's calling out someone as big as Diddy, you know the heat is real. It seems like 50 Cent always knows how to stir the pot. But let's talk about Wendy Williams, the queen of gossip herself. Wendy went as far as saying that it was about time for legal action against Diddy, indicating her belief that the allegations were long overdue for public attention. Wendy doesn't mince words when it comes to exposing people, and this time she wasn't holding back. Wendy, of course, has had a history with Diddy, so it's not surprising that she'd weigh in. On the flip side, some celebrities are backing Diddy. Ray J, who's had his fair share of public scandals, spoke out in defense of his friend Diddy. He didn't condone the allegations but seemed to express shock at how everything unfolded. But it's clear that Ray J's loyalty to Diddy is something people will question in the coming weeks. It's not just about the music anymore, it's about what happened behind the scenes. Even LeBron James, the king of basketball, had his moment. When the allegations hit, LeBron spoke about his experiences hanging out with Diddy. He didn't believe the accusations. but he did express disappointment in the situation. It's always tough when someone you look up to falls from grace. And for LeBron, Diddy's downfall is hitting too close to home. But the question we all want answered is, who else is connected to Diddy's world of scandal? It's not just the celebrities we know and love. You have people like Dawn Richard, a former member of Danity Kane, who spoke out about the abuse she allegedly suffered at Diddy's hands. She wasn't just a musician under his wing, she was one of the women coerced into Diddy's world. Dawn described feeling like a piece of meat during her time working with him. And it wasn't just verbal abuse, it was physical and emotional. Dawn didn't stay silent. She sued Diddy, and her story has sparked a chain reaction, with others stepping forward. And what about Aubrey O'Day, another former Danity Kane member? She's also spoken about inappropriate advances Diddy allegedly made toward her. But that's not all. She's one of the few celebrities who's been vocal about Diddy's manipulative behavior and the way he treated her and the other women around him. Let's not forget about Harve Pierre, a former Bad Boy Records executive who's been implicated in one of the lawsuits filed against Diddy. A Jane Doe accused both Pierre and Diddy of sexual assault. The details are disturbing, but they only add more fuel to the fire that has been burning for years. Now, let's talk about the evidence, because this trial is not just about words. There's a 2016 hotel surveillance video that allegedly shows Diddy assaulting Cassie. This isn't just hearsay. This is something tangible. The video paints a disturbing picture of what happened behind closed doors. And as more victims come forward, it becomes clear that Diddy's empire wasn't just built on music. It was built on fear, control, and abuse. The prosecution has made it clear that they have more than enough evidence to put Diddy behind bars. But with a figure as powerful as Diddy, is anyone really safe? He's not just a rapper. He's a businessman with connections. The question is, will those connections protect him from justice? But that's not all. Diddy's web of connections goes way beyond his inner circle. We're talking about Jay-Z, the man who's not just his business partner, but also his close friend. But here's the twist. Did Jay-Z know about the dark side of Diddy's empire? Some say he turned a blind eye. After all, Jay-Z is no stranger to controversies of his own, but the two are practically glued together in the entertainment world. So, does Jay-Z know something we don't? Could he be dragged into the scandal? Then there's the connection with T.D. Jakes, the megachurch pastor. The two have a business relationship, with Diddy having ties to Jakes' church, and some insiders claim that Diddy used his connection with Jakes to clean up his image. But did Jakes truly not know what was happening behind closed doors? Or was he just another pawn in Diddy's game? The questions keep piling up. Even Justin Bieber, once a close mentee of Diddy, has been linked to this mess. Bieber, who was once seen spending a lot of time with Diddy, has distanced himself from the scandal. Sources close to Bieber say that he's been completely disgusted by the allegations. Bieber, now a family man, has been focusing on his role as a father and husband, trying to steer clear of the chaos that Diddy's trial has caused. But here's the thing, Bieber has spoken about his relationship with Diddy in the past, mentioning how much he admired him, but now, things have changed. Is Justin Bieber's silence his way of saying, I don't want any part of this? As the trial continues, we're just starting to see the real picture. The prosecution is expected to call several high-profile witnesses, including Cassie herself, who will testify about the abuse she allegedly suffered. But there's a dark side to this trial. With every revelation, more names are expected to come up, people we don't even know yet, and who knows what secrets will be uncovered as the weeks unfold. In the coming weeks, we might hear from even more surprising witnesses. Could Beyoncé, Jay-Z, or even Kanye West be dragged into the mess? Some rumors suggest their names could be linked to Diddy's controversial parties, the same ones where allegations of abuse have surfaced. But for now, we wait. We wait to see how this legal battle will unfold. Will Diddy face the consequences of his actions? Or will his power and influence protect him once again? One thing is certain, Diddy's reputation is forever changed. Even if he walks away from this trial without jail time, his empire may never recover. The music industry will never look the same. The brands that once associated with him, including Ciroc, Revolt TV, and even his fashion line, may distance themselves from him. But beyond that, the biggest question is, how many lives have been affected by Diddy's actions? How many women were silenced? How many people allowed this to happen for years without speaking out? The real tragedy might not just be Diddy's actions. It might be the system that allowed him to get away with it for so long. As this trial continues, we're left with more questions than answers. But one thing's for sure, the truth is coming. Whether Diddy likes it or not, his dirty secrets are being exposed, and the world is watching. The question is, What will we do when the truth finally comes out? Will we turn away or will we demand justice? Stick around because the truth is only getting started. Will Diddy walk free or will the weight of his secrets finally catch up to him? Make sure you're following this explosive journey. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update. You won't want to be the last one to know what happens next. This is just the beginning, and trust me, you won't want to miss the next chapter. Diddy's story is far from over, and the world is watching. Will we see justice served, or will he slip through the cracks once again?